Now, us over here in the United States were treated with the TV show first, and to be honest, I saw that before playing the games as well. In fact, the first Pokemon game I seriously played was a special Pikachu edition. That's right, Pokemon Yellow version. Yellow is like the upgraded special edition of Red and Blue. It's got much nicer looking Pokemon sprites and more accurate models. Wow, look at this difference. And it's also in color. Well, slightly more colorful. In fact, these colors really make me feel warm and fuzzy and nostalgia. Ah, so pretty. Anyway, Yellow not only incorporated improvements to the game engine, but also made use of the TV show and based the story more on that. Which is kind of a loop, you know? The TV show is based on the first two games, which deviated from the games often, and these deviations are taken in to make the next game. Whoa! Haha, get your brain around that. Anyway, you start out with a Pikachu this time. That actually sounds like the one in the show. What I don't like about Yellow is that they made Red look like Ash now. Oh well, guess kids looked up to that turd. Pikachu follows you around now, which is cool. I always wanted them to do that for every Pokemon in the game. As a kid, by the time they incorporated that into the games, I wasn't a kid anymore. Thanks, Nintendo. They'll do the same with my idea about being able to fully customize your playable character. Something that I was drawing and imagining in my head that could happen in a new Pokemon game in 1999. Probably when I'm 30. Anyway, I think Pokemon Yellow, ironically, is the hardest of the three original Game Boy games. Because you get Pikachu, and you can't be a physics-bending and rule-breaking cheater like Ash is in the TV show, and have to resort to actually using strategy to defeat Brock's Rock-type Pokemon with Flying, Bug, Normal, and Poison types. Something not easily done. Anyway, Pikachu follows you around and its mood changes depending on how well you treat it. Look at that wonderful little Pikachu. How are you, Pikachu?
You're a happy new Pikachu. Aw, yeah.
Oh yeah, Jesse and James appear. Brock and Misty look like their anime counterparts, and the Unknown Dungeon, or Cerulean Cave, is differently organized. Speaking of which, I haven't talked about that yet. The Unknown Dungeon is the secret cave blocked by some grumpy bouncer or something, deemed unsafe. It's located on the northwest of Cerulean City. After defeating the Elite Four and the rival, the bouncer is nowhere to be seen. You are cleared for entry. Within are a bunch of ultra-high level, mean Pokémon, and they pester you a lot. But in the center of this cave lies in wait a terror of genetic manipulation, a true powerhouse, a monster, cloned from you and purposefully forged to become the Pokémon world's most destructive fighting machine. Mewtwo. And oh boy, without a Master Ball, this is a bugger to catch. Remember to save your data before combat! I'll talk about Mewtwo in later episodes, because basically, you know, there's nothing else to say. Mewtwo's awesome in this game, and that's it. I also kind of wonder how come people didn't complain that Yellow version was simply just a retread of the same game experience in the previous versions, only with slightly better graphics and a few tweaks. Did it really get such a high rating? Apparently, it received a perfect 10 out of 10 masterful rating from Imagine Games Network. It's not really a game I'd recommend for playing if you've gone through and beaten Red or Blue, but shamelessly enough, I've done so as a kid, and actually finished the game and caught all 150 Pokemon with it. In fact, I went to Celadon City's game development building over there, where this one guy gives you an official diploma for catching them all. And sorry, I can't show that on the documentary, because it would have taken a long time for me to do so. Anyway, Yellow triggers a lot of fond memories with me, and I remember having many fun times taking my Game Boy Color around, the teal one, just hanging out with friends and playing Pokemon. Sadly, most of these friends were called Ash on the game, and it was all kind of one-dimensional from that point of view. All in all, the adventures we all shared with Pokemon through Red, Blue, and Yellow give us memories as if they actually happened. It may have very basic graphics, even in Game Boy standards, but that only boosted the amount of immersion and imagination that we experienced in the first generation of the Pokemon games. We gave them nicknames, and felt a slight emotional pull when we traded them. It took us out of the norm, and engaged and sometimes even educated our minds. And, well, it was simply a great milestone in our childhood.
Let the match begin.
Join us next time for coverage of the Pokemon phenomenon. From the TV show to the action figures, trading cards, and general boom that all of us experienced during 1998 and 1999.
Very nice.
Pokemon was ridiculously popular and made all of us very happy and parents extra protective.
Let's go.
La 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 la. All in all, the adventures we all shared with Pokemon through the red, blue, and yellow... All in all... All in all, the adventures we all shared with Pokemon through the red, blue, and yellow... What am I rating? Okay, I got it. All in all, the adventures we... Stop making noises. All in all, the adventures we all shared with Pokemon through the red, blue, and yellow... I said red.
You always mess up at yellow.
That's the problem. All in all, the adventures we all shared with Pokemon through red, blue, and yellow give us memories. I can't. I'm